Hey there, neighbors and naysayers. May 29th, 2024. Just wanted to show from the bottom of the hill. I know I took a video up at the top last night. Yeah, it was last night. Here again, this is acre and a quarter with this year's wean calves, last year's grass-fed steers, and all the ewes and all the lambs and the lambs from last year. So this is what we show in impact. Lots of fescue seed still standing up, but a lot of them are clipped off too, so this will be pretty well conditioned. Now, you know, we have no idea what will happen. It will probably go back to seed. We'll probably get some seed head again. We'll have to mob this twice because that's daylight dependent, and the longest day of the year is not till June 21st, so we got almost a month. So we'll probably hit it again one more time, just the same way, before we widen back out there by the end of July, when everybody is all together and all one big flirt, I guess. There's a bale scar. It had, of course, clover, chicory, and all that in it, but they grazed it. It'll come back, and actually it'll come back harder than ever now that we're through this. And just kind of interesting to see what they do. It's so much easier with all these feet to do this. I don't have to have near the pounds per acre to make this work with all the feet, with the sheep. With the cows, it's a struggle to get them tightened down tight enough to get them to trample like this and eat like this. But we'll get there. And as I said, you know, I worried about the quality of forage, but you got to figure that they're not eating all those stems, where if we mowed this for hay, they'd be getting all the stems. Plus, the fact remains that hay is never better than the minute it was cut. So it just gets worse from there. And our hay tests, you know, we're good enough to put maybe a pound a day gain on these steers, but I figure with what is here and what they've left behind, we're probably well into 2 pounds a day gain, which is where we want to be for these steers, finishing from July until January, which is later than I want them to be, but that's just what processor dates we could get. So I mean, we're still holding good. I like the way we did it this year. Just kind of let them pick until it really come on seed, and then start tightening them down. And hopefully, I noticed the upper, there's 3 different paddocks in here. The upper paddock, the clover is really responding and coming back, which is what I want to do. I don't want to see that clover go away. And I think when we were so selective, we had trouble with keeping the clover. The fescue kind of shaded it out. So hopefully we're there doing some good. We'll see. I mean, it's always, you know, just a trial. We just see how things go. I felt good last night kind of looking around. You know, we've been doing this for a long time, but we kind of have a system completely down. We got a monkey wrench thrown in it this year, where our calves are going to be a month later because the bull was hurt. But we'll get through that, and we'll get them all moved back, and it'll be fine. And, you know, I have no idea how many of these heifers behind me are going to calve. They're in with the bull, and then if they make it past their harvest date and they calve, then that's fine. I'll keep those heifers, and we'll send call cows, because I'd rather trade up a heifer and get rid of a cow that's less producing and really fits our system less than what these heifers do. As we're bringing in younger heifers, they're really fitting our system better than the older cows that we have. I mean, we've got a bunch of cows that were born in 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. And then we got some younger crew too, but it's time to start moving them out. So that's kind of the system we've been using. Put the bull in with everybody in August, and what calves, and what don't calve, and hopefully they keep rolling that way. I mentioned the quality of hay here. I guess I pulled up to talk about that a little bit today, but also, hey, if you can hear the noise behind me, the neighbor has decided to go ahead and mow hay. And I'm in no way making fun of him for doing it. We're going to be making hay too. I wish we were out mowing hay, but there's several things here. Actually, I don't wish we were out mowing hay. If I never made another bale of hay in my life, I'd be happy with that. Why do I want to own something that rusts, rots, and depreciates, and and deal with, and I know why he's up there mowing. He's up there mowing because that landowner's been giving him crap about getting hay mowed. And what the worst part is, I guess I'm irritated because he will now get all of our landowners, or as in the ground that Dad makes hay on, they'll be all wound up and they'll be calling next week wanting to know when he's going to come mow hay. Well, you can't mow hay in the rain, and we have had probably 1.5 inches of rain in the last 3-4 days. The ground is not sopping wet, but wet, and it's going to rain again. This is Wednesday. It's going to rain again Saturday night, I think is what they're saying. So it rained today. It just sprinkled on me a minute ago, and it might still sprinkle yet tonight. We'll have Thursday dry, Friday dry, and Saturday night it's gonna rain again, they say. Ground's wet, and highs for the next 3 days are 70 degrees, lows are in the 40s. That is not hay drying weather. I don't care who you are and who you think you are and how much you ted it or run it through a wringer washing machine. That is not hay drying weather in eastern Ohio. Sorry, I know it's time to mow it for quality, but we're not going to get dry hay made in this weather. It's just not going to happen. And I know, like I said, again, I am not making fun of him. I know him well, and we're friends, and that's fine. I know what he just needs to get started, and that's his feeling, and so that's what he's going to do. But we talk an awful lot about buying hay, and when Dad decides to hang it up or visit the great hay fields in the sky, I'm not going to continue this because it's just not worth it. I'm going to buy hay. The problem is, I'm not going to buy hay from somebody that's in a hurry and mowing it like that. Yeah, I want quality hay, but I want quality done hay. I just can't see how you can get that dry. I mean, we have a moisture monitor on our baler, and Dad follows that religiously. Surprisingly enough, he follows it, and our hay quality has went way up the last 3-4 years since he bought that baler. Because we're watching that moisture and getting it baled, and he knows if he go mow today, he would not get it dried down enough before it's going to rain again on Saturday. It's just not going to happen. And I don't care how much you ted it, do whatever you want, it's not going to be dry enough. Yeah, it'll go in the baler. Yeah, it'll make a bale, and the old adage is, well, it's better than snowballs. Well, I don't know. I've seen cows starve to death with their belly full, and we're not going to do it here. I'm doing a lot of complaining here, but this is all to say that we're going to move more towards stockpiled grass. I mean, this bale grazing thing worked out fabulously, and we'll still do some bale grazing the last month, 2 months of the winter. But in the future, we're going to be in the stockpiled world, and we're going to be feeding stockpile for a lot of the winter, and we're not going to need as much hay. And it's just such a losing proposition. No matter how you try, it's a losing proposition. If you've got the hay equipment, you've got $100,000 easy, just even in used equipment to make hay and to make quality hay. And then you figure out what your hay bill would be every year to buy hay from somebody. You're way better off to purchase it. Now, it keeps my dad busy. He likes to do it, so that's great. If I like to do it, I'd be out custom making hay for people. And if one of my boys decides they want to make hay for a living or make hay for money, that's great. Go ahead and do it. But it's just not something I want to do. I want to worry about things that don't rust, rot, and depreciate. I hate breakdowns. I hate tearing things apart. I hate when the sun's shining for 3 or 4 days and something's broke down and I can't get anything done. I like cows, I like sheep, I like things that grow and appreciate, and also things that have babies and add money to the operation. And I ain't never seen a cow broke down. I ain't never seen a sheep broke down. I mean, we all, I know I'll get jokes. Yeah, I've shot a few. But still, the cow herd as a whole didn't. Now, there's a problem in that I can't just shut them off and put them in a shed and let them go until good weather, and I can't shut them down and go on vacation. But it sure is nice not to have to worry about a breakdown. And I know I sound like I'm doing a lot of complaining, but boy, this is so much better. And I get to see the farm 1 acre at a time this year, or this time of year, and enjoy it instead of being on some loud piece of equipment and worried about what's going to break down next. I did some brush hogging the other day, and that's all I did the whole time I was brush hogging. Brand new brush hog and a tractor that's newer than my truck, and I'm worried about running over something, blowing a tire, or breaking down those whole laps. And the only reason why I was brush hogging was just to brush hog where a fence line needed to go, a permanent fence line. And still, I worried the whole time. I don't worry about cows. I don't worry about sheep. the sheep were out today, and it's just because the grass was so tall, and we've got lambs. And I would say that a lamb went under the fence, and a ewe went with her, and she broke a poly wire, and then everybody was out. But this, and it, you know, if you'd asked me that moment, it was a big deal, but it really wasn't that big a deal. We got them all back in 5 minutes, and they're all back down there. And you may hear them whining in the background. I just moved them, and lambs are trying to find moms. When there's over 100 lambs out there, it's quite a chorus when we move, because the ewes move and leave lambs behind, and they got to come find them. So just thought I'd share thoughts and picture here of what this looks like, and maybe just a little bit of thought on making hay. I read somewhere one time that there is no quality hay made east of the Mississippi, and no quality dry hay made east of the Mississippi, and that's probably true. I haven't seen dry hay that would put 2 pounds a day on a calf in a long time, especially not dry grass hay. And then on top of that, oh well, we can make silage bales, yeah, but we already took something that was very, very expensive, and we turned it even more expensive to feed a beef cow. We ought to be working on feeding a beef cow without making it so expensive. We're not any of us getting rich here. We can it's real easy to find a way to make things expensive, but it's real difficult to find a way to make things cheaper so that we make more money. And that's where we need to put our focus. With that, I'll say we'll see you next time.